वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Brothers and sisters, today in front of the United Nations headquarters, where flags of 194 nations are being hoisted for the last more than 50 years, a message is being given by 35 million Sikh nation. We had been coming here regularly on this day for the last 38 years. For majority of Americans, when they listen the word India, for them India means land of spirituality, land of Gandhi, land of yoga. But brothers and sisters, today 1,500,000,000 people are living under a tyrannical rule of RSS ideology believing people whose governance is just on line with what was the Nazi governance in the 1930s. As the slogan of the Nazis was, one nation, one race, one leader, one people. Similarly, they are working present day rulers on Hindu, Hindi, Hindustan. The very regime of today, the way they are behaving, that is what the Nazis and fascists in Italy did in the 30s, and the world ignored at that time. They said, oh, Germany is Socialist Republic of Germany, how there can be any violation? But we know that what happened in 1930s and then during the Second World War, that the world said, never again, never again. We, the proud Sikhs, those who have served the whole of humanity during the past 2 years of COVID-19 crisis as well, we are the 5th largest religion on this planet. Over 1 million Sikhs live in the United States of America, and the very basic ideology of Sikhism is love for humanity, love for every individual, every being on this planet. And along with that, the very essence of Sikhism is standing for justice, standing for human rights. And our very history tells that since 16th century onwards, for the last more than 4 centuries, how many sacrifices Sikhs have made. It may be Mughal Empire, it may be attackers or invaders across Dar-e-Khyber, it may be British colonials, and for the past 75 years, we are reeling under the oppression and suppression of that very people, those who were slaves for 1,000 years. Sikhs had been in the front line to liberate that part of the world, but unfortunately, post-Second World War, when British colonials were hastily retreating from South Asia, they divided the subcontinent between India and Pakistan. We became the casualty. Over 40% Sikhs were uprooted from their roots. Their historical gurdwaras were left behind on the promises by then Congress leaders like Gandhi and Nehru that no constitution in India will be accepted which won't be acceptable to the Sikhs. But what happened? While in the Constituent Assembly, Indian Constitution was being discussed, they refused to recognize Sikhs even as a separate religion. Article 25B of Indian Constitution clubs Sikhs, Buddhists and Jains as Hindus. That was the time when 2 Sikh representatives in the Constituent Assembly said, this is betrayal of the Sikhs, this is betrayal of the promises made to the Sikhs. We reject this constitution. Fact of the matter is, de facto we may be captured in Indian map, but de juris we are not part of India. Our struggle for 37 years, from 1947 till 1984, was for the federal structure of India, and as the great saint soldier of 20th century Sant Jarnail Singh Khalsa Pindrawale had said that we want to live with them, with the majority, but with dignity and honor. But the day they will attack our sanctum sanctorum, Harmandir Sahib, the foundations of Khalistan will be laid. Now for the past 38 years, our demand is independent sovereign nation of Khalistan between the river Jamuna and Pakistani border. And you are seeing the pictures of over a dozen Sikh political prisoners, those who are languishing in Indian jails for more than 25 years. They have completed their jail terms, but in spite of all that, they are not being released. And presently what we are seeing in India, particularly two states of Punjab and Kashmir, in the name of humiliating minorities, in the name of humiliating Sikhs and Muslims, so-called Ghar Ghar Tiranga, Tiranga in every home, they are thrusting this fake patriotism under the throats of Sikhs and Muslims. And our answer is, as can be seen here, the Khalistani flags fluttering in front of United Nations. We are giving a message that we have not accepted the slavery of Tiranga. We are independent sovereign people. We had been the masters of that land over 170 years ago. A vast rule under Maharaja Amarjit Singh. Similarly, very soon, Sikhs will have independent sovereign nation of Khalistan between river Jamuna and Pakistani border. Khalistan Zindabad. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.